Hello and welcome to She Talks Beauty, Business and Bread. It is lovely to see you here again. Of course, we're going to talk all things business. I'm going to remind you of how beautiful and powerful you truly are. And the activity we're going to do today is going to improve your intentionality with your bread, how you spend, and of course, looking at those habitual habits that lead to the bigger picture of what is your assets, your personal finances. So, we are going to do a stock take. It is not just for businesses, guys. We are going to do a stock take on our own lives. I want to give you the definition of what a stock take is, which is an assessment and record of the amount of stock held by a business. But you're going to do a stock take of all things you because you are your greatest asset, right? It's important to do a stock take, a check in, identify, and of course, record, as the definition says, exactly where you are and where you're going. We need a vision. Without a vision, we are just floating in the wind, and we don't want to do that. We are ambitious women with goals and dreams and desires to make our mark in this world for us and for the future generations. So, stock takes are something that take time, but they are very, very worthwhile doing. I remember in my days, younger days of doing retail, and I remember when it came up time to do a company stock take, and we all had to be part of it on our little departments. The manager was overseeing. And you know what? I look back on moments like that and I totally understand it now. But as I said at the time, it was a lot of high pressure. You could feel it in the air, the energy. Um, but I really want you to know that with this activity, that you may feel an element of pressure, or your attitude may be, oh, do I really need to do this? And the answer is yes. It's going to be so worthwhile. It's like when you go to the gym and you rock up there sometimes and you aren't really in the mood, but after the session, guaranteed you always feel good and glad that you went. And this is what the stock take is going to be for you. So I want you to split the stock take into two separate parts. I want you to think about the non-physical items that you have, that you possess. For example, the gifts, the abilities that you have that just come really naturally and easily, your strength, the things that bring you personal joy, and also maybe something that you can look to monetize in this season where the internet has changed everything and you can offer your services. You may be a great communicator. You could be a great cook. You may be somebody who possesses skills to encourage and be an amazing coach. So I want you to look at, and I want you to take stock of those skills, and I want you to physically write them down, because there is power in writing down and recording where you are and what you have. I've seen massive changes in my business and in my personal life doing the stock take. So I want you to then move on to the physical items that you have. That's in your wardrobe. It could be actually in your physical items in your house. And I want you to then split those into assets, which, let me give you the definition. The definition of an asset is something that is of value to a person or a business. So I want you to think about things that are still wanted. And then I want you to think about things that are unwanted. And when you think about the wanted and unwanted, when you split things up into those categories, I want you to think about what you could do with those things that are unwanted. Is there a way that you could gift them to somebody in need of it? Or perhaps is there something that you can do to sell and monetize those items, to upgrade, to customize them? And I want you to do the same thing when you've gone through your non physical, your gifts, your skills, your talents. Have a look at how you could develop, practice, upgrade them so that they can actually increase in value. It might be that you invest in a coach. It might be that you go on a course. Whatever it is, whatever assets you possess, make sure that you realize the value, that you are acknowledging the value of the assets that you have. You yourself are beautiful and valuable. That's what last episode was all about. Remember to remind yourself of that daily, even when the storms are happening around you, as long as inside and in your mind you are sure about who you are and your worth and your value, I promise you, you can keep going. You can keep building, you can keep doing. This stock take is going to take you to the next level. It is going to be amazing. It's going to be a way to actually check that you are doing what you think you are doing, because sometimes we can spend a long time in thoughts. So the next place I want you to look is your bank statements. Being totally honest here, I looked at my bank statement for January and February, and I realized I was developing a habit of going to the gym, which is my space to just stretch my mind and my body. And I was coming out and I was having a little browse in Tesco because I have a lot more time freedom now. And I was spending 20 and 30 pounds, sometimes 5 days for the week, sometimes four, sometimes three. 5 times 30 at its maximum, that's £150 of frivolous spending that I was doing on things like water, watermelon slices, which was fine. But what did I have in my cupboards that I could already utilize? Just because we have the ability to do something, it doesn't mean that we should do it. And that's the thing about vision. It requires a real level of focus. And this word that has a negative connotation, but it really shouldn't, discipline. Discipline just means the ability to set a goal and make a decision and follow through on that, to execute. For example, this stock take. If you decide after this or listening to this podcast to do the stock take, being able to follow through, you will get the results that discipline has actually given you the strength to do. So, discipline is not a bad word, guys. Discipline is important. Discipline and boundaries and perimeters actually can ensure us that we get to our goals quicker. So when you've done this stock take, I want you to have a review and a check in with yourself about discipline, barriers that you now need to perhaps put back up that were in place at the beginning in January when we're all setting new goals, or even just things that you didn't know were an issue because you didn't take a proper stock take. And actually, now they do need to come up. I have no spend days, which are amazing. And you don't realize how much you're in the habit of spending until you set yourself a no spend day. I'd love you guys to try and comment and let me know how it goes. You sit there thinking of all these things that you want to go and buy on that day, and it's no. I was listening to a preacher the other day talking about the power of no. In a world where there is so much opportunity to say yes, to click yes, to accept and continue, no is our often most powerful option. So I'm going to leave you with that. I'm going to leave you with your stock take. I really would like you to comment and let me know how it got on, what new goals you have got for this next quarter, taking us into summer and this beautiful spring season where, seeds are actually beginning to grow and you're planting. Really do, guys, take the time to let me know. As I said, I want this podcast to be relevant to your lives and to actually be a blessing to you. So have an amazing day. Get on with the stock take. Don't delay. Break it down into chunks if needs be. You might do it over a 5-day period. Just make sure you do it.